hypothetical viewers, welcome back. Would you believe that this is actually the fourth time I played through this map because I forgot to get Higgins the first time when I recorded it, and then I played it two more times, each of which I managed to forget to get Higgins. Then as I defeated Solo, I suddenly remembered that I was supposed to do that, and here we are on try number 4. Um, I also realized that I had to stop and check the guide I'm using where he was. I thought he was one square to the right of this. As you can see, he's not. He's in this pillar. This has been quite a journey. How did I... The only reason I replayed the map was to get this character, and I forgot. I got him at the start both times, and then by the time I got to the end with Solo, I had completely forgotten him. Well, in any case, huh? You found me again! I give up. It's been a long chase, one could say. It's been quite an endeavor. Maybe I need much more practice. Let me follow you. I'll wait for you at the... Oh, what was it? Headquarters. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the headquarters. Higgins, the SNB, has joined... Oh, the Shinobi. That's what it must be. Shinobi. I was like, what the fuck? Has joined the Shining Force. I would have put like SHNB to make it a little more obvious. Anyway, let's go kill Solo again. We already got everything else. Oh boy. I somehow also did worse playing this map every time I played it. Like, I don't even... Oh, the color scheme also looks different now. That's also... There's actually a reason for this. You will... Any hypothetical viewers will actually not see a difference on the video, I'm assuming? You know, actually, that's a good question. I don't know enough about, like, the mechanics of recording videos to know. So, I guess we'll find out. But, I'm assuming the answer is no. Well, I'll explain what I'm talking about, and then I'm assuming that it actually doesn't matter. Basically, I keep my computer in night mode basically all the time because I find the lighting in normal mode is like a little too bright and it tends to hurt my eyes a little, whereas the lighting in night mode is slightly dimmer. It's like more yellow or something, and I find it less irritating to look at. I bright light in general bothers my eyes a lot. Like, I can't stand fluorescent lights either. So I also have my phone on super dim all the time as well. The bright lights kind of give me a headache. But my computer, I haven't been able to find a way in the settings to make it just go on night mode all the time. It like requires you to set a window in which it goes into night mode rather than just letting you turn it on permanently. I don't know. I couldn't find an option in the settings. I'm sure it's in there somewhere, but instead, I have it be in night mode all the time except for 15 minutes because that was the smallest window it would let me select as the difference between the start and end of night mode. And we have just flipped over into the 15-minute block during which night mode occurs. Which is kind of funny. So basically before when I was playing, I was like, oh, the lighting on these tiles makes it seem like kind of like, you know, like sort of mid-afternoon sun. It's very nice. Now they look sort of like yellowish almost. Now they look more straightforwardly gray and the lighting looks much more cold. And it's because my computer is no longer in night mode, so there are more blue tones. But now that it occurs to me that that probably doesn't matter in terms of what people who watch the recording see, right? Like what they'll see will be based on their own computer settings, presumably. Like, this is recording, I don't know, the fucking RBG values or something. You know, I don't fucking know about this shit, as you can tell. But it's recording that, and then their computer is producing that through its software, and what they see will depend on their own screen and settings. So even though I personally am describing these backgrounds as looking a certain way, a hypothetical viewer might actually be seeing something completely different. That's kind of deep, you know? I'm like, man, like, you just, who knows what we all see in this world, right? Like, our way of perceiving just varies so widely. But yeah, compared to before with night mode on, the color scheme still looks nice, but I actually think it looks slightly nicer with night mode. But I only have to wait 9 more minutes and it will turn off. Also, you can really see on display here how I've managed to do worse at this battle every time I've played it somehow, and it's probably just because I'm getting more and more impatient, so I'm kind of just rushing, fighting solo. I'm just like, can we be done now? We're doing this several times. Fortunately, Solo's AI, for some reason, doesn't have him cast spells every turn, even when he can, which is very strange because what the fuck else is he gonna do? That's other than that, all he can do is smack you. Oh, he's out of MP, that's why. Well, he could use Bolt 1 at least. He could do something. But yeah, he too is experiencing the curse of Bolt. Bolt 2 is good, but it's so expensive. Well, nothing left to do but bash him to death. Such is the way. Ben, get in an attack. Yeah, I have now done this map oh so many times. Sure, Dawn can finish him off, why not? I didn't throw out the spear this time because I sent someone else to get the chest. Yay, level 10. I think that's our first level 10. Very good. We saw this last time, so I'm just going to quickly go through it. He's been defeated. He's going to take as many of us as he can with him, probably by blowing up. But instead, he sees Ben, and he's like, holy shit, I recognize you. Now I know who the traitor is. It's your older brother who said that, who we all thought his little brother was dead, but it's you. Mayfair's like, well, fuck that guy, let's go. She doesn't care about the traitor or whatever. Ben's a little concerned, but Mayfair's like, do you know the answer? But Ben seems a little cagey about that. We leave Solo behind. Solo, or Warder left Solo behind, and we have to go try and find Prince Nick, who we thought was being kept at the Algam Fort, I think, but I guess Warder like moved on already. So we gotta still chase after him. Prince Nick is in danger. We already defeated Gordon, who had the sword of Hajya, and now we've defeated Solo. So we've defeated two of Warder's like servants. So we're getting there. And now we actually will record the adventure so far. And start chapter 4. Ah. We got Higins. Hurry, we must get the prince out of here before the Cyprus army arrives. These are the two surviving servants of Warderer, and that's Prince Nick. King Warderer is waiting for you at the shrine. The Cyprus army? Wow, we're right behind him. Hindle, that was his name. It wasn't Hild, it was Hindle. I knew it was with an H-I, but I could not remember otherwise. Hindle, I gotta remember that. Sir Hindle, the Cyprus army is approaching. Very well. Barbara. Oh, and her name's Barbara, not Camilla. We fought Camilla in a different game. She's a different Shining Force character. Every game has like a woman with either green or purple skin who wields an axe that you fight at some point, so they all kind of blended together. Sorry. Camilla's from one of the other games. From Shining Force 2, I think. Barbara. Take Prince Nick and go to the shrine. I'll await Cyprus and greet them here. However, Barbara is not taking any of that. I can't do that. What? I have direct orders from Warder himself, not to take orders from you. Warder has become suspicious, evidently. And why is that? My orders are, if you act strangely, I must kill you. What? Although, I should accompany Prince Nick to the shrine. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to go with you to the shrine? My, you're being agreeable. That's good. I don't want to kill you in front of everyone. She's really worried about, you know, traumatizing this ghoul and these two random minotaurs. This wouldn't be healthy for them. You know, can't let mom and dad fight in front of the kids. Hindle and I will take Prince Nick to the shrine. The rest of you stay here and hold off the Cyprus army. Ben, are you alright? You appeared preoccupied with something. Can I just point out, Natasha is in theory like a fairly important character. This is the first time she's talked since like chapter like 9 or something like that. Like the entire time while the parties were split up, I don't think she said a single word. Sarah was the only one in the cutscenes, even though she was like, she had like main character syndrome where, well, she was the one who had egress and was the leader of the party. She couldn't say anything, just like poor Ben. So now that she's not the main character anymore, she could talk again. But yeah, it's like, Natasha, we haven't heard from you like this entire game. You had some cutscenes at the start, and then there was just this long stretch of nothing. You appeared preoccupied with something. Are you worried about the prince? Look, they're taking Prince Nick away. Quick, follow them. He's actually preoccupied about his big bro. Okay, let's take a peek at the map. So this is one of Shining Force's classic, ginormous outdoor maps that's going to take ages to walk around. And the debate here is, will it be slower to go through the forest at the top, or to walk all the way around and go through the bottom? I actually think at the top will be faster because those bridges will be bottlenecks and there's some forest anyway. So let's just take a peek at what we're facing here. We've got the ghoul. Oh, I am also going to make a save state at the start of this chapter, just in case. One moment, please. Just gotta... just in case. Still got some Cerberuses. The boss, I guess, is this Minotaur here. Oh, some new flying enemies. We've got gargoyles and the Belial, which has bolts. Seen them in other Shining Force games. Yeah, there's really not that many enemies compared to the sheer size of this map. It also really feels like this one random tree should have something secret in it, but I don't think it actually does. But it feels like it should. So that's kind of a bummer. Oh, and at some point we should... Oh, I forgot that we're poisoned. Maybe I'll egress so we can heal the poison, and then we can, like, also see Hindle's talk quote or whatever. Because it'll take like 2 seconds. It won't be that bad. Yeah, we'll use Natasha's egress for a change. Very exciting. Sometimes it's better to treat and regroup, particularly if people are poisoned, because poison is a status that isn't very dangerous, but which I do find annoying because I have to read the message for it every level. Okay, good. And now let's... Oh wait, that's not what I was looking for. Let's go chat with Hindle. New friend Hindle. Or Higgins, sorry. Hindle is the Deanna's bro. This is Higgins. I'm getting all confused. He's pretty strong overall. He has very good attack, comes with the critical sword. Defenses aren't amazing, but you know, I guess a ninja is not like tanky or wearing armor. Fast enough. Patience is one of my disciplines. Grammar is not, however, because there really shouldn't be a comma after patience there. But cool. Thanks for letting us know that, buddy. Oh, he also has magic, as you can see. He doesn't have any spells yet, but like some of the other ninja characters we've had in other Shining Force games, he does gain spells as he levels up. I think I'm happy with my team as is. You know, I thought I'd swap Slade out by the end, but I think he's actually going all the way, and it's because, you know, Rhodes and Randolph, meh. Higgins, he's strong, but he wasn't one of our, you know, original story members. And I think the only other character still for us to join us is also a secret character, which has the same issue. Let's quickly reshuffle the items too. But yeah, I'm actually feeling like... Oh, we may as well give this Protect Staff to somebody. Slade, unexpectedly, is actually going to be in the final party. And I just feel like I've ended up doing that previously in like other... I'm going to have Dawn... We should probably decide who to give the running pimento to, because we have our full party at this point. Sarah wouldn't be a bad choice, so we get more range on our healer. Could also give Ben 7 moves, so he's the equivalent of our centaurs. Could also use it on Natasha, not because she's particularly good. She's not, but because I just really like her. So I'll have to think about that. In the meantime, let's give this to Jaha. Good weapons. But yeah, I almost feel like I probably ended up using Slade when I was a kid also. Because, alright, I'm not using Randolph anymore, so like, obviously his power sphere should go to a character that, you know, doesn't have a power sphere. We may be able to buy them at this point, actually. I should really look into that. Let's just start this episode off nice and slow. Oh, we have a halberd now, too. Dawn can have that. Because of favoritism, basically. Oops, I swapped her for the spear, which is not what I meant to do. Whatever. Claude with the running ring will actually have boosted move as well. I'm gonna use the running pimento on Natasha, mostly just because I like her a lot. And I feel like if you can't decide who to give an item to, favoritism pretty much can't steer you wrong, you know? Yay! Now she's ridiculously fast. She's like a fucking centaur. I don't think we have any other stat items. I used them all earlier. So let's go sell some of the junk and buy some good stuff. This episode is going to be... This one's going to run long because we started in the middle of the previous battle to get Higins. And then on top of that, we're also spending some time fucking around at the start. But like, whatever. Because again, who's ever going to watch this? I feel like there's also a special and unique sadness, like, for me personally here, because, like, I ended up working kind of late today, basically, and, it's fairly late right now, so I'm, like, spent the whole day doing stuff for work, and now it's after work, and I'm just doing this. Which is kind of fun, but it's like, I'm spending my time creating something that no one on Earth will ever watch. Oh, we can't buy power spheres yet, jeez. And it's like, makes you ponder, like, the fucking meaning of life or whatever. We're pretty close to the end of the game, though, gotta say. Like, we are actually pretty close. Let me just make sure no one is carrying anything that is nonsensical. Claw doesn't need this. We'll just chuck it over to Randolph. Could also sell that broadsword and the spare critical sword that Higins has. Since we're not using him instead, that can be very nicely used by Ben, and Higins can have the spare broadsword, just in case we ever end up actually using him or something. You know, it's good to have everyone at least have a weapon. And now let's make sure everyone is properly equipped. Oh yeah, the critical sword is nice. Ah, and that makes Claw like absurdly good range as well. Look at this 8 move. So good. I just, you know, sometimes you gotta go fast. Halberd's very strong. Eric's fine. Gonna give Jaha this nice heat axe. Protect staff. I feel like I got less characters in this game than some of the other Shining Force games somehow. Like, I think the other Gaiden game was kind of similar. I've like already fucking forgotten. I didn't even play it that long ago. But I feel like the Shining Force main games had bigger armies overall. I had more characters on the bench. I mean, these are like Gaiden games, so I guess they were just smaller in general. But yeah, we'll have a fourth secret character, like I think in the last battle. But the secret characters are a little bit different anyway, right? So with the standard characters, oh, we will get a couple more people, won't we? So we'll have a couple on the bench at the end, but we won't get them until pretty late. Like, this is the start of Chapter 4, and we haven't recruited everybody? That's hella late. But yeah, we are definitely in the home stretch here. Because I think there's, what, 5 chapters in... It might be like 5 or 6 in each, 5 battles, rather, in each chapter. So we do not have a ton left of this. Although my recording has slowed down because I have been swamped with work. So much to do. So much to do. Plus, this week I really have to spend the time to finally set up my work computer that I finally got because... I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but basically... I had to work off my personal laptop for 2 months, so at this point I'm like in the middle of a bunch of stuff, so it's gonna actually take time to swap everything over. And I also have to swap to using a completely different software to do my job, which I've never used before, so in the middle of a bunch of time-sensitive stuff that I'm trying to get through. So this is gonna be quite a fucking week. Oh, it's every day is just a new adventure, right? I mean, I guess that's, you know, starting a new job. It's like, there's a learning curve, you know, you're like doing new things, just learning new stuff. I feel like it's just a little bit more challenging because of the pandemic. Everything is just kind of super different and flipped around. But, you know, I'm getting there. Little by little. It's funny because currently the task that I'm like supposed to be doing also is like, basically just developing a storage system for all of the files that are kind of a mess right now. But the funny thing is that they already have lots of documentation detailing pretty much exactly the storage system they want, which is a perfectly fine system and is really, they're like, we want you to go beyond that and expand it. But I'm like, what you have here is fine. You're just not actually following any of it whatsoever. Like, if you adhered to the principles you've laid out here, you'd actually be great. Oh, some golems, so I guess we'll have some stuff to do in this battle. It won't be totally empty. But yeah, so it's kind of waggy. Like, my feeling is that maybe it's more that they want all of that documented in a way that other people will be able to easily read so they can actually follow it. Because again, I'm like, I feel like there's really nothing more to create in terms of the design of your storage. It's like, yeah, this is the structure you want. Good. It works. It seems like it'll work great. This is a perfectly fine way to lay stuff out. These like file naming conventions and stuff, very clear, very, sufficient for your needs. There's it's just a matter of doing the thing. So maybe they really need is just like protocols for following all this stuff. But I feel like that's sort of, it's like the devil's in the details, right? It's like you can come up with the best concept for a storage system in the world, but the difficult part is you have to actually follow that on a regular basis. And I think you can reduce a lot of the pain points by setting it up properly for yourself. And this isn't just for file storage, that's also true for physical storage, right? Like, if you design the physical space you're using such that it's easy to see where things should go, and there's like, and everything you need to store stuff in is readily accessible and stuff, you're more likely to actually do it, as opposed to being like, this is too difficult, and then just kind of dumping stuff in a pile somewhere. But A, you have to spend the time to do that initial setup, and B, it's never going to be zero effort, right? Like, yes, there's certain things you could automate maybe, but if you're creating files, to a certain degree, you're going to have to put them where they should go, and you're going to have to pick a name that makes sense. So it's always, that's the tricky part always. Compliance is not so easy. Heck, that's not just for storage, that's for literally everything, right? Like, you can come up with the correct protocol to do any task, but can you convince people to do it? And to do it every time so that, it's actually consistent. Not so easy. But yeah, I feel like it's gonna be really interesting kind of figuring out how to make that all work, and probably have to set up like some examples or whatever so people can like look at this is what it should look like. Because the storage right now is quite a thing to behold. I would say that the way I feel is slightly like, imagine a person who, like, you're hired, like maybe as like a facilities person to keep a building clean, like you're gonna clean this place, and you're like, cool, I know a lot about cleaning things, that'll be good. And then you enter the building for the first time, and it's like, you realize it hasn't been cleaned in like 30 years, and it's just like, it's like a hoarder lives in there, there's just things everywhere. You would probably be like, wow, this is gonna take a while. It's just like, it's a bit of a task. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, man, the sheer scope of the things that need to be organized is truly astounding. It's a little overwhelming. But yeah, I do think just stress is, I mean, we're all stressed right now, but obviously when you're stressed, it's harder to concentrate and get things done. And there's a lot of things to get done. So this is definitely going to run way over just because it's going to take ages to get through this part, and I spent so long buying weapons and shuffling things around. I didn't even buy anything, but looking at them. So this will just be like a super long bonus episode to kick off Chapter 4. The thrills. We're in the last quarter of the game. I think there is a nice pacing, and like in terms of like you kill Gordon at the end of Chapter 1, and then at the end of Chapter 2, we don't fight one of the main ones, but we like defeat Soul at the end of Chapter 3, and then we'll ramp up a little bit in chapter 4 and like fight Barbara and then kind of, you know, ward her later. So we'll kind of a nice little ramp up of bosses. But I do feel like it there was a nice little progression of enemies to face. And as I've already spoiled, we'll never actually fight Hindle. Because as it will turn out, he is actually the traitor who is secretly helping us. So we won't get to fight him. He's Deanna's bro. But I don't know if they ever explain in any more detail than that. I can't really remember. It's been a long time since I played this game, but it's certainly a very exciting twist, which I've already spoiled, but like sometimes that kind of makes it fun to see the twist approaching. That's also something Shining Force, like this is basically just taken straight from Shining Force 1, right? It's like, it's the same. But, which is why I was kind of lolling when I played that game, because I was like, oh, apparently this is the thing for this series. And even in the first Gaiden game, it's not like a secret brother or anything, but the fact that Prince Nick secretly is like from Cyprus or whatever and just didn't tell you. The main character is secretly from place that we're fighting is... It's just like in every Shining Force game, except for Shining Force 2, where Bowie is nobody in particular. He's just some guy who's like hanging out. That would sort of be a little different from these. It was made after them, obviously. The Shining Force 1 and then the 2 Gaiden games were kind of made in close sequence, so, you know, maybe some of the same, like, ideas and concepts were reused. But, it is pretty hilarious that they just keep running into this over and over again. It'd be great to see a Shining Force game where, like, they just guess from the beginning that that's the case. They've noticed the pattern. Because these are all in, you know, they actually are chronological sequels. They're not just in the same series. Like, Shining Force 1, and then you have, like, what, 20 years later is Gaiden, and then this is, like, 1 year after Gaiden. So you'd think the characters themselves would have been like, I'm starting to see how this works. But alas, they are too innocent to ever notice that. It's sort of unclear if Deanna, like, because Deanna is clearly, like, you know, because Mayfair's like, oh, do you know why they think that? And he doesn't say anything. So I don't know if, like, he knew all of this from the start and just was keeping quiet, you know, kind of like Prince Nick in the previous game, or whether it's more like he himself maybe had, like, some like, foggy memory, because he was pretty badly injured at the start of the game, right? We know that Warder told Hindle that his brother, he's like, oh, I heard your brother died, he got killed by a common swordsman. And apparently they found Deanna's body, like, unconscious at the base of a cliff or something. So it seems like it was like a never found the body situation where it's like he got thrown off this cliff or something and they, like, healed him, but maybe he like had some foggy memory because of his wounds, and now he's sort of starting to remember. I don't think they ever really make that clear. But I don't remember them making it clear anyway. It's possible they do and I've merely forgotten. But yeah, so they did at least do it in a different way than Shining Force 1, where you have amnesia and your bro is being mind controlled. Here it's not really clear what Deanna knows and when, and Hindle obviously is actively a double agent. I do think this game also, considering that it really is a fairly short game, and it obviously doesn't have a ton of, like, narration and dialogue, it's pretty succinct. I think it does a good job of building up the traitor plotline, because we've had Hindle, like, the mysterious voice, help us a number of times when we were sort of in trouble, and, like, it's like, oh, who is it? Which of them is the traitor? You know, who's helping us? And obviously we set up from the beginning that, oh, Hindle's brother was said to have died, and then Deanna, we don't really know where he came from. So I think that for such a short and fairly simply written game, it actually does quite nicely in terms of kind of making this mystery plot work. So I do have to give kudos there. For a game that is not too heavily written, I guess is how I put it. Like it's sort of like broad strokes. It's bare bones. It does a good job of conveying the story. And it creates some tension, right? Like, I do think that's a weakness of Shining Force Gaiden 1. Like, the story is fun and it's like straightforward, but it's kind of like just a straightforward, like, we gotta go kill the bad guy. You know, whereas this has a little bit more of like, there's a central mystery, you know, of, you know, oh, is there a double crosser? Why is this mysterious person helping us? Are they friend or foe? So there's like a little more mysteriousness to it, which is pretty fun. Shining Force 1 kind of had that little too, in that it was like, we didn't know at first what the fuck the deal with Kane was, and then we kind of like found out halfway through, and so that also had some nice little like build up to that. This game I feel like goes more straight for the like, there's a mystery kind of aspect. This is going to take ages because this forest really slows us down, but genuinely, I think the amount of time it would have taken to walk all the way to the bottom of the map and around still would have been longer. That's what I'm suspecting anyway. It's just a guess, but not too optimistic about it. These enemies may actually reach us by the time we get there, though. Hard to say. But once we get to the boss, I do not think it will take all that much time to kill them. Like, they're not like unusually strong or anything. And let's get started. At least Ben and Claude can just fly right over here, obviously. Oh, nice. The critical sword giving us a critical hit. Like, everyone else is still stuck in the forest. Chester will be. Oh, right, and I gave Natasha, like, ultra super boosted move. So, with one hit from Claude, like, we need one more hit, literally. Considering the amount of, like, we didn't really start the battle until about 16 minutes into this episode. So this battle, we actually finished this amazingly fast, considering that. This is quite impressive. We're just at about time. I really thought this would go over. Cutting across was the best idea here. I'm very pleased with my decision. Oh, now I feel the sadness. I thought we could win this level by just killing the Minotaur. Apparently you have to kill everything. Well, here I was like so proud of myself. I was just like, I got through this so efficiently. Like, I skipped all of this boring trekking around the map, fighting these enemies that do not matter, but it turns out the game will not permit that. I feel like that meme of the guy being like, what if you wanted, but God said. You know, that template? I'm showing my age here, referencing meme templates. Also, I feel like my screen just got darker for reasons that I don't know, because my laptop is still plugged in, and I didn't mess with the brightness at all. And I'm not sure whether it's the emulator glitching out, because it looks slightly like the fade out that it does between scenes, like when it's going into or out of battle mode. And I'm not sure if it will ultimately be reflected in the video or not, but just a little... See, this is fine. This looks correct. Maybe it'll fix itself. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, it seemed like maybe it glitched out a little and like... Because it fades the screen to go into the battle, right? It seemed like maybe it did not unfade the screen correctly and it was slightly too dim, but it appears to have reversed itself by running the unfade command again, basically. Well, this will be a super long bonus length episode anyway. Because the game... What if you wanted to finish the episode in a timely manner, but God said... Also, I think the dodge was gonna die. Oh, she made it. Just barely. Well, we'll see if we can get ourselves out of this one. And now we have fucking attack 1, which I guess just boosts up their attack. I don't know if it's just a weaker version of boost. Oh, it's... Boost also does speed, I guess. So this is just attack, and it does more. Since it's single stat. The rest of us are trapped in the forest. Forest background very nice, as always. I like that foggy effect it kind of has going on. Overall, this battle is not very interesting. I've said this before, but Shining Force's outdoor maps are very visually appealing, like they look nice, but they're generally not interesting to actually play on. Like, they're mostly just, you walk a long way. At least main character is becoming quite a bit more powerful. That's very satisfying. Luke, why don't you help bash this cleric with your staff that you're not actually wielding, because your battle sprite. I'm gonna send Chester over here because we need a little help. This group is a little outnumbered. Man, this sorcerer has so much fucking HP. Redonkulous. Hey, why don't you just, I don't know, use Bolt 1 on this cleric, I guess. Gradually getting through this. I'm genuinely really disappointed. I was so pleased at the fact that we were, I thought, managing to finish the episode right on time, and I flew too close to the sun. I'm gonna have Natasha actually flee because she's dying, and doesn't have a healing item on hand. So go run away. And Claude is gonna attack the sorcerer. Gradually getting there. Eric, busy being trapped in the woods. Do. I mean, I guess it's fine if it runs over, because again, no one's ever gonna watch it. And like, you know, what's the difference? Is the last 10 minutes gonna be more boring than the first? I would argue they're equally boring. But it's something to do. Plus, since I don't use my noise-canceling headphones for this, it's like, oh man, the sorcerer is really determined to kill Natasha, and I was not able to get her far enough away. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. She only had like one more spell of MP anyway. But, oh yeah, what was I saying? Then, since I don't use my noise-canceling headphones to record because OBS doesn't interact well with them, this also gives me a chance to charge them. They do run out of battery over time. This is what happens when you wear headphones like basically 90% of your waking hours. They run out of batteries pretty fast. So I am a hardcore headphone user. Pretty much always have headphones on. Okay, we're getting down to the end here. Man, the sorcerer healer combination is really annoying because the sorcerers already have just so much HP. It just takes so long to kill them. They're really annoying. And then the healer just makes it just take even longer. So it's just like, you know, I need this game to respect my time. This mission just isn't that interesting. And it needs to understand that and not make me spend even more time doing it. Well, at least we're almost killing the sorcerer here. May. Aw, she can't actually quite get both of them in. I guess you can just use Bolt 1 then. I don't know, it's something to do. Gotta fill the time somehow. You can see how our poor mages, like, they're not as useful now. They just don't do very much damage in comparison to our melee friends. Life is hard for a wizard. It's like the opposite of like D&D 3.5, you know, where at the end the wizards are absurdly better than everyone. Here it's the melees. Although, much like in that game, clerics only become better and better. Because aura is just so good. I would say that enemy wizards still remain pretty threatening because and I mean, that's pretty true for every game, right? Where, like, because there's a large number of enemies and we need to defeat them all, whereas we need our units to not die, the attacks from enemies are generally, like, losing a relatively small amount, a moderate amount of HP is worse for our characters than for the enemies, because even if one enemy dies, there's, like, 30 more of them, whereas for our characters, every one we lose reduces our fighting power, so... Wizard enemies can still give a bit of trouble because they can leave everyone more vulnerable. I guess I might as well have him heal. What else is he doing? We're getting there. Worry not. I guess I might as well have him, like, start attacking the cleric, although he's almost out of HP, and NP rather, anyway, but it won't take that long. Oh, excellent job, Ben. These critical swords are really nice. Main character has become so strong. And we'll have to egress and heal up Natasha, so... There we go. You know, since this episode's running over anyway, why don't I, like, watch the cutscene, go back and heal up Natasha, and then we can start the next battle kind of fresh, you know? Sometimes it's hard to predict how long each episode will take, so... There we go. Or actually, you know, let's cut it here and have the cutscene and this stuff in the next one, because the battle might be too short otherwise. So thank you for watching, hypothetical viewers, as we completed this really rather long and tedious map, and as we finally got Higgins. So that's good, at least. I'm immediately going to never use him. And in the next one, we're going to say hi to a friend we haven't seen since the beginning of the game. So look forward to that in the next episode of Sword of Hajya.